Cool. What's going on, people? Welcome to a very special episode of Throwdown. This is our little impromptu PlayStation experience episode. So I'm your host, Polanco, and I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Yep, and it's like 2 a.m. in the morning, but you know me, I'm always up.
Hey, man, it's 11:42 for me. I'm good. So, yeah, Manny was the one that kind of inspired it because, basically for tomorrow, we're going to bring you through on your questions, right? And Manny wanted to see if I could still host it, while I'm out here in Anaheim.
Yeah,
I guess I can.
Yeah, it's a weird sort of thing because, like, I don't like to leave these sorts of things to, to like the day of. So the test ended up being a little bit of a show on its own, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, because I started thinking about it, I'm like, wait, I should just talk about PlayStation experience. There's a lot, the thing is, like, all throughout the day, fans were, I was tweeting about it and stuff, but they were like, hey, you should post videos and stuff. I didn't really go out and do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, yeah, why don't we just do a show? Why not?
Well, I mean, at the same time, it's almost, you're kind of there unofficially, officially, because it's like you're kind of there. I mean, at least from what I can see from my angle, it seems like you're just actually more able to enjoy the show rather than be there like, well, I need to play blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, you're 100% right. And the thing is, like, I'm still going to write. It's a weird thing. I'm still going to write stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like, since I'm not obligated to it, I'm happy to write about it. It's a weird thing. It's like, think about it like this, right? If I would have been here officially, I would have written the same shit as I would unofficially, yet I would enjoy it more because I don't have to do it. It's weird, but that's how it is. So yeah. Oh, we got a viewer. Thank you for watching. Who the one guy know? Like, fuck Throwdown Saturday. What is this shit? So yeah, let's get into it. So I was at PlayStation. I know some of you guys are going, Tony, why's your hat backwards? I was at PlayStation Experience. Tony. So basically I had absolutely no plans to come to this year's show because I'll be honest with you guys, I don't like coming to California. Is that, like, I've gotten used to California people and stuff. That's fine. It's that fucking trip, Manny. You already know, man.
Oh yeah, what is it? A 6-hour trip, right?
Yeah, and in this one, since it was such a late thing, I had to do layovers and stuff. I ended up in Utah. Very nice mountains.
Yeah, Utah's nice. I think it's leaves you right next to Salt Lake City in there, or Salt Lake City, Utah.
Dude, I saw the Salt Lake.
Yeah, it's nice there. When I went to visit my girlfriend in what do they call it, Reno, Nevada, like I had to stop over in friggin' in Utah, and I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, a very small airport too, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's weird, small.
Oh, the one viewer just left like, fuck, I don't want to see these guys.
Like, I don't want to see these two guys talking. Oh well. Later.
So I had to go to you. Again, I wasn't really planning on coming to this thing, but a certain friend I have, I'm not gonna say anything, but a certain friend of mine, right? He was like, hey, you're gonna come to the show? I'm like, oh no, I'm not going this year, because I didn't get invited. He's like, hold on. So some strings were pulled, and I made it to the show, and I'm glad I got here because this show right here, no exaggeration. I'm not counting E3 because E3 is still a trade show, right? But this is the best public gaming event I've been to. And this is what I like today. The one thing I was thinking, like, this is PAX with better games. Like PAX is great, like, because when you're there, it's like, you're celebrating gaming and all that. You're there, everybody's very happy to be there. But I'll be honest, the games lineup kind of sucks at PAX. There's a bunch of indie games nobody cares about.
Yeah, because it's that's the not a lot of the big guys are gonna go into PAX. They got bigger fish to fry, but
yeah, but exactly. And here, go ahead.
I'm sure that this is probably getting ahead of it, but I'm sure from what I can see from the different little bits of people posting, there are quite a bit of indie studios within the kind of show area too.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of freaking indie games, but again, these are indie games you're kind of interested in playing. That doesn't sound like an asshole, but this is true. Because when you go to PAX, like, okay, check out my indie game. Here's mouse and keyboard. Like, I'm not trying to play that shit, but here every game's coming up PS4. So like I'm looking around like, I want to play this, I want to play that. It's crazy, So basically, this episode again. Originally, this was just supposed to be a test, but it seems to be working well, And now we got two viewers. Yay! let's talk about PlayStation. The way we're gonna format this is Manny's basically gonna ask me a bunch of questions and I'm gonna answer.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. Like, let's start from the beginning. How did your day start? Like, first thing I saw was like you tweet about you getting up in the morning and hearing like people chanting PlayStation from outside of your hotel.
Yeah. Okay. So my hotel is the Marriott, right, which is on the exact same block as the convention center, and it's not even a long walk. It's literally like I can't even call it a walk. Like, you leave the hotel, you see the convention center. It's right there. You know what I mean? So this morning, like around I woke up around 9 or so, right?
Yeah.
But even at 7:30, because me and Manny, I hotel rooms, I can't sleep too well, right? So I was waking up around like 7 o'clock, 7:30. PlayStation, please. I'm hearing these chants. Like, first I just heard, like, what the fuck? Because the thing is, like, from my hotel room from here, like, the line would start right here. So I'm hearing all these chants. I'm like, this is very interesting. But the thing is, before I got here, I didn't get any sleep. I had an hour and a half of sleep, because you guys are gonna love this story. So I thought my plane left at 1 o'clock, right, in the afternoon. So I'm like, okay, it leaves on 1 o'clock. I got plenty of time. After we did Throwdown on Thursday early, I decided to play some Final Fantasy 15. Like, I got hours, and then I go to bed and I look at my email. I don't know, something just like itched the back of my head. I'm like, check your email, dude. So I checked the email. My flight was at 11 a.m.
Oh,
like,
oh man,
fuck, that's 2 hours of sleep lost. And then, man, you know how it is, man. Trips, I can't sleep anyway.
No, you can't sleep.
So, I'm on the planes. It's funny because I'm going to sidetrack a little bit. Very interesting, because usually the trips I take on airplanes, it's from New York to Los Angeles and Los Angeles to New York, right? There are a lot of differences between people from New York and LA, but the one thing we have in common is we don't talk to other people. It's very quiet, right? Utah, different story.
Oh yeah.
On the flight there, the people I was sitting next to, it was 3 rows. Very nice people. They very forthcoming when talking. And I was talking to the girl, the cute girl too. And she was, I was telling her, like, I have a very hard time sleeping on flights and stuff. But she was telling me, like, hey man, you actually went to sleep like for a little bit. Like, that's how tired I was,
Yeah.
So I didn't really get much sleep. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sleep in today. The convention center is literally right there. I'll watch the keynote from my phone. I just want to sleep, right? So I wake up to these chants of PlayStation. Like, okay, that's cool. Let me go downstairs. Let me see what's going on. So I get down there at 9, and I posted a picture. Huge fucking line, and I tweeted like, "Look at all these ponies."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool. And then, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just laughing.
Yeah. So then right there, as soon as I get to like kind of the end of the line, or the end of the line would be where it begins. I ran into my man Bovice, right? Barry, right? Man, you remember Barry? We had to like watch his luggage and stuff at 1E3.
Yeah, we hung out in the press room, and he was like, "Yeah, can you watch this for me for a little second?"
Yeah,
like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
So I was hanging out with Barry, right? And he was telling me that him and his boys were waiting on the line to get their badges. Here you go, this badge right here.
Those things.
Yeah, the featured image too, by the way. People.
Nice.
So he wanted to get his badge. The thing is, the badge you could get it yesterday, but the badge registration was from like crazy, from noon to midnight.
Oh wow. Right?
So I got my shit at 10 last night. After I went to dinner, I went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Couldn't resist.
Yeah, dude, I may have performed some heresy though.
Uh-oh.
I didn't get the waffles.
Oh, you just got the chicken.
Manny, you know me, dude.
Yeah.
I bought half a chicken and I ate that shit.
Here's the thing though. The last time I don't think you had the waffles either.
I bought the waffles. I didn't eat them. I ate a little bit.
So you know what? See, there you go. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
Yeah, because I saw the menu. I'm like, okay, 1 breast, 1 thigh, 1 drumstick, 1 wing. I'm like, let me get 1 of each. That's half a chicken. Let's go. So I ate that. Really, Roscoe's, man. I don't think that's the best chicken I've ever had. Like Popeye, fuck Popeyes. This is the shit, right?
Oh, come on, Popeyes is a chain. That's like comparing it to anything.
Because I love Popeyes, but this was crazy. I totally lost track of time.
Oh, so you were talking about going
Vice.
down. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I got my pass, right? Like I after I finished eating Roscoe and Charles, but these guys didn't do it. So they're waiting on this. They were closer to the beginning of the line, but it was still long. You know, he said they were there for like an hour and the line hadn't moved at all, right? Like, oh, that sucks, you know. And we were there talking, and Barry, he goes like this, yo, Tony, you know, for you guys who don't know, I am in a wheelchair, right? So I get to cut lines, right? So he was like, yo, man, like you should try to use your powers to get yourself in there. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Huh? Yeah,
I said your powers.
So as soon as by the way, I just realized the reason I can't hear you too is because I don't have my headphones on, but whatever. So as soon as he says that, a guy, you know, the guy holding, you know, who's like officiating the line, he's like, "Hey, man, do you wanna go in?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to go in." He's like, "Are these guys with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they're with me now."
Oh man!
So I brought Barry and his boys in with me. You know,
nice. So they were able to get their tickets and, you know, their badges and everything. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, they got them after the keynote.
Oh, of course.
They did the fucking show without badges. It's hilarious. You know, so I go in there and, you know, they put me into the little designated cripple spot, right? And I met this like really fun girl there. And the funny thing is, like, the two people next to me, they had the electric wheelchairs. I didn't know they had this ability. They could lift the shit, like raise it up.
Oh yeah, they have that now, where like they can literally go.
Yeah, so I'm there like, what the fuck? I can't do that shit. You know, I'm a man. I'm wheeling myself around. You know?
No, maybe a new version of it has like a big old crank on it.
Yeah, right. So I got to the event, you know, and I'm just there talking to people, gamers and stuff. And I saw the keynote. All right, Manny, I know you saw the keynote. Let's talk about that keynote.
So I want
to hear your impressions first. What do you think?
For me, I didn't get to see. I got to see portions of it because I had to watch a lot of it on my phone. I was actually headed into Philly to you know, to just do some stuff, get some breakfast, you know, do whatever, you know. But I literally watched the whole keynote on my phone.
Oh, by the way, before you go on, here's the funny thing. The guy who got me, you know, who helped me skip the line, basically, he's from Philly, and Barry was from Philly, so they hit it off like that.
Oh, they hit it off.
Yeah, so it helped, you know, us get in there even better, you know. But yeah, so I guess you were in Philly, so you didn't get to see most of it. But what did
I got to see from what, you know, when it eventually went back to look at a lot of it. But I saw the first thing that I saw was the trailer for the Uncharted DLC.
Yeah. Now here's my question.
I didn't think it was. I saw, I was like, for when I first saw it, I said this is Uncharted, and I'm like, it kind of would be cool if this was a new game, like a totally new, like a new franchise. But I'm like, I'm sure this is Uncharted. So, you know, the usual shit happens. Like she gets on a ladder, she falls off, and all that stuff. And I'm like, how much you want to bet that this is what's her face from Uncharted 2 and 3? Yeah, and that's it. And once what's her face came in, I was like, oh, okay, I know who that is. Oh, I know who she is. So, but it was nice looking. It's good to see them to do this thing. They're kind of weirdly saying that this is like it was a little hard for me to understand exactly what it was.
Oh no, there's some confusion about that, but they said it's a single player expansion type of thing.
Yeah, that's what they said.
It's not a full game, but it's not like a cheap DLC either. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. Yeah, so that's what it's what everybody's been liking it to is First Light.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They're saying that it's a lot like First Light, where it's like it's not like just maybe 1 or 2 chapters or something like that. It's actually quite a bit of gameplay. It's like half of Uncharted, or maybe a quarter of Uncharted.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and I can finally talk about this publicly. I told you this shit a week ago. Okay, I knew they were going to show The Last of Us 2 at this thing, right?
Yeah.
So when this thing starts, I'm like, is this possibly The Last of Us 2? Like, it doesn't feel like the world didn't seem like The Last of Us. But it looked like a Naughty Dog game, right?
Yeah.
Because Naughty Dog games have a specific look about them, you know?
At least now they do. You know, like that's like.
So yeah, I'm like, okay. I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm expecting Last of Us 2. This is obviously a Naughty Dog game. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have the faintest idea they were making another Uncharted expand. I had no idea, you know.
Well, we
So
knew
I was
that.
actually,
We knew. I figured it was the story DLC.
yeah. I
That
didn't even know
this was the
that.
thing for.
I thought the story DLC was a rumor. I didn't even know that was true. So
No, they said that from the beginning. They said that from the beginning that there was going to be at least one story DLC for Uncharted 4. So I'm like, oh, okay, so this is probably the Uncharted 4 story DLC.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, SN Rashid, he's in the chat right now. SN, I'm doing this shit on my laptop, so I can't actually see the chat going on, brother. I'm sorry about that. Actually, let me see if I can see it on my phone at least. You know.
Yeah, maybe you can pull. Maybe we can pop it up. You know what? I haven't put.
Yeah, man, you pop the chat. You know, see what's going on in there. Like I honestly can't see it right now. Let me see.
Yeah, you know what? And guys, the thing is that Tony's running it through his phone. So anything he does on his computer will slow down the his version, his side of the chat. So
oh shit. Yeah, exactly. You know what? I shouldn't be doing that on my phone either because that's my tether. All right.
Oh, it is your tether. Yeah, so yeah, let me look at see what we got here.
I was just about to look up at the things that happened, but yeah, I was like, what the hell is this? Because it's obviously a Naughty Dog game, but I had absolutely no idea they were even doing any story things for Uncharted. So I was actually very happy when I saw Chloe. I'm like, oh shit, and it's not named. Let's go. Very happy about that. Oh, yeah, so if you pulled it up, let me know what's going on in the chat right now.
All right, so I just said hi, guys.
We don't have Kristen with us, so I hope people stay calm in there.
Somebody's just saying Tony.
Yes, that's it. Yo, Essen, look at the hat, son.
Dad worked on the wheelchair. Worked on that wheelchair, by the way. The one
right.
you're talking about. So he worked on that. He's an engineer. Oh, yeah. Cool.
Wait, what's the guy's name? Who's the engineer?
Eshin.
I didn't know you worked on that shit, bro. Get out of here.
It was his dad, apparently.
Ooh, we're gonna talk after this shit.
Maybe
by the way, people.
Maybe you know what? Doc Gamer, it'd be awesome if we could get your dad to make a crank for Tony's chair.
Okay, so yeah, they showed that. I thought man, you know me, I love Uncharted. I can't wait. Give me that shit. Mm-hmm. That was a good start to the show. And then my man Sean Layton came out. I met him, by the way. He's a cool dude, man.
Professor Layton. Professor Layton.
Like I met him outside the press lounge. Manny, by the way, I feel your E3 pain now. I saw the press lounge, like there's a barrier there. I'm like, I can't go in.
Yeah, that was it. It was like the force field, like.
Yeah, by the way, for you guys who don't know, this is just a regular pass. That's how my friend was able to get me in, right? But this is just a regular pass. I just went as like one of the regular people, which was actually kind of liberating.
I say here's the thing, like I worked like press like maybe what was it 2 times at E3?
Yeah.
2. I feel like there's that pressure when you're just kind of going in normally. There isn't you don't have that pressure to kind of perform, to kind of like, okay, I gotta make sure I sit down here. Like I kind of like when I was at the E3 this year, I was just like, enjoying what games I could get into and stuff like that. So it was like, it was good. Good.
Yeah. But like I was telling you before the show, it's like I'm obviously gonna write stuff, but I'm not obligated to it. It's weird. Like I said, if I would have been here, I would have written the same shit I would have if I just came here like I am now. But because I don't have that pressure, it feels better. You know what? It's weird, It's like when you have to go to go to the mail, the post office to drop some shit off. It's just on the block, but you don't want to do it because you have to do it. But yeah, so I thought,
that first step.
Yeah, okay. Actually, no. Go ahead, because I just was wondering, like, should we do a rundown of the entire keynote or just talk about whatever caught our eye?
I mean, I feel like you go through whatever caught your eye. I mean, like that definitely the Uncharted DLC was very nice. The one, I said this on Twitter. The only gripe I have about it, as cool as that whole keynote was, the only gripe I had of it is there was as many cool looking new games where they were all sequels and spin-offs and remakes. That was the only issue I had. But at the same time, I think I understand why it was kind of skewed a little in that sort of direction, because, you know, you're dealing with kind of the fan base here, and usually people want to see the things that they know before the things that they don't know so well.
Yeah.
So,
hey, I'm going to ask you, man, that Gravity Rush expansion, man. What do you think about that?
I was very excited about that. Like, you literally, from what they said, is that you literally can go back to the first town in the first town in the original Gravity Rush, and you're playing as Cat. I mean, not Cat, as Raven, through pretty much the whole, like, through her arc through the original from her when she started to when you meet up with Kat in the original game. So there's also a portion in Gravity Rush where you don't know what the fuck happened to Raven. Like, they get tossed literally down to the bottom of the world of Gravity Rush is crazy. They're on this giant tower, and below the tower is all this other crazy shit. So something happens, they escape it, but you don't find out what happened to Raven. She essentially winds up showing up later, but the thing is that it's like, what happened to her? So this whole DLC thing, which is supposed to be free in March, covers everything, covers all that stuff, which I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I almost feel like I want to play that stuff before I play the DLC, before I actually want to play Gravity Rush 2.
Oh shit! So it's a free DLC then?
I think from what I heard, they said it'll be available for free in March. So I'm like, it comes with the damn thing. So sure, I'm down with that.
All right. Speaking about sequels, this is because I was there, like, I was tweeting so much, I didn't really like react. I wasn't clapping or anything. To this game, I clapped so hard I hurt my fucking hand. And Essen, I hope you're in there watching this. You understand, you know, motherfucking Ni no Kuni 2. Ooh,
yeah.
Yes, man. I love Ni no Kuni. Like, I've said this on Throwdown before. I don't really play as many JRPGs as I used to. Not because I don't like it, it's just because I don't really have the time to invest like that. Ni no Kuni, I invested the time. That's such a great game. It's Pokemon done right.
It's sad because for years my version of Ni no Kuni stayed in its packaging because I just hadn't had the time to sit down and actually play it. I still haven't played the game.
Yeah, it's hard, man. It really is. But Ni no Kuni 2, when I saw them, like, just the fact that it exists makes me so happy. I love that game, dude.
Yeah, I agree. I was like, definitely, like, it's also nice to see a game that's stylized, where, you know, every single, you know, game is kind of like photorealistic. It's kind of cool to have a game that looks animated or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'll get into this a little bit later, but that's what I like about Sony, man. The variety, you know what I'm saying? Manny, you're keeping tabs on the chat right now, right? Because I want you guys to let us, you know, just toss out something that you want us to give you our opinions on, you know, because we're not gonna cover everything, you know. Yeah, I like that. What else did they show? You know, we can skip right to it. The thing that ended it, the fucking Last of Us 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, very interesting because, and I've said this on Throwdown too. I didn't want a sequel to The Last of Us because I felt that the first ended so well that anything that happens after that would undermine the original story. But it seems like they're going in a very interesting new direction here. By the way, what is it with games with Troy Baker and guitar playing?
It's like, hey, we know he could play.
Like, it was Ellie playing guitar, right? But I guarantee you that was Troy Baker that was motion capture playing that guitar. I guarantee you that shit, you know? And then, okay, so this game is going to be Ellie, right? She's going to be the main character. But this is what I kind of want. Because remember, in the first Last of Us, it was Joel, and you got to play one chapter with Ellie, right? So for this game, I want Ellie for the main character, and then Joel to be in one chapter.
Hey, what are you doing? Yeah.
But, I mean, there's not really much I could say about it because, you know, I just saw that one trailer. But even as a guy that didn't want the sequel, I am actually still excited for it because, again, this is Naughty Dog we're talking about. They don't fuck around. This is going to be really good. But what did you think of, you know, the trailer and, you know, just the fact that this game exists?
The funny thing is that the way I found out about it is because I wasn't able to watch, like, I was able to watch bits and pieces. I watched most of it on a train trip to Philly because it's about 40 minutes and the keynote's about 30 and change. But every so often I had to, stop, and then we went into a tunnel, and that's the point when I missed the Last of Us trailer. But I went back when I got home later on after I saw part of the Kojima thing. I went back and I went through their long stream and went back to the part. So I'm like, wait, there's a Last of Us 2 thing? I'm like, what's this? So yeah, I thought it was interesting. I mean, the only thing is, I don't know. I'm like, I kind of don't want to play. I don't want The Last of Us. To be honest, I'm the same way with you. It's just like, all right, but I'll see what it is. I can't say I'm not really excited about it, but I think it's cool that it exists. But I don't really want to play it. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, I know. You didn't like the first. I mean, you did like the first game, but
I liked the first one, but I didn't like the first one.
Yeah, because you felt it was too, heavy.
I felt it was very oppressive. The game.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I that thing that she said, like, I'm gonna kill them. I'm like, who is she? She's not talking about clickers, obviously.
Well, no. If you look at the trailer, she didn't kill fucking clickers. There, those look like real people. Like those.
I don't think that blood was hers.
No, that's not her blood.
Yeah,
no.
Very interesting. I mean, I'm kind of just seeing that one trailer, and she's older. Here's the funny thing: she's 19 in this game, right? She was like 15 or something. So I think The Last of Us came out 4 years ago. So it actually would be 4 years later.
Yeah.
So
well, I think she's killing those guys from that group.
The Firefly,
right? The Firefly, because they had that Firefly logo on the outside, and I think that's who she's killing.
Ellie's badass, man. But here's my thing. Since we're getting the sequel now, I want to at least see some kind of payoff for the ending of the last game, because if I guess we could spoil that. It's been 3.5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Joel, at this one, I won't give away to Joel lied to her.
Yeah.
Right? She knew he was lying.
Mm-hmm.
And she let it go. I want to see some kind of, payoff on that,
Mm-hmm.
It's been 4 years, so I want to see how they resolve all that. They've actually go, hey, Joel, I knew you were lying to me about that,
Mm-hmm.
But since you're the only person that ever gave a shit about me, I let it go, even though I think it was fucked up. So I want to see that, and I don't doubt Naughty Dog will capitalize on it because they're very, strong on storytelling, So that was cool, and now we got to talk about the potential controversy because we don't know anything yet. Marvel versus Capcom Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
I called it, by the way. I said Captain Marvel, formerly Miss Marvel, was going to be in this shit. And there she was. And kudos to Capcom. You gave her long hair back.
They're playing both sides, though.
How's that?
When she powers up, Mohawk.
Yeah. She gets the
faux hawk. She gets the faux hawk, yeah.
Yeah, she gets the faux hawk. Listen, I'm gonna be real right now. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but she looks, the current hair she has in the comic, she looks like a fucking dyke, So I'm glad they gave her back her normal hair. Here's a weird thing though. It's not that short hair makes women look unattractive. You could have attractive looking short hair, but her hair looked fucking ugly. Like some artists would do it right. Like Art Adams, he draws her short hair really good.
Mm-hmm.
Other guys, they do it like shitty. So I'm glad Marvel at least gave her back her long hair. So I was happy about that. Again, I don't know, man. Like
I think she's gonna be like Phoenix.
She's gonna be, and why she would be Phoenix. And again, this has been confirmed. Even my friend at Sony said, "Don't count mutants out yet." He didn't say like that, but he was just like, because he saw I got really heated with him, not with him. I was talking to Robert Workman, right, and he overheard this. He was like, "Don't get mad about something that hasn't been finalized yet." I'm like, okay, yeah. So and it's coming from this person, like, what does that mean,
Yeah.
But I still honestly believe that there's not going to be any mutants in this thing, right? Given Marvel's track record.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't fill up the roster. There's plenty of new Marvel characters. You can even have Amadeus Cho as Hulk now.
Yeah.
But here's what I do like about this game. Now it's 2 versus 2. I know that's going to sound weird. I prefer that over 3 versus 3.
So does that mean we're going to get back our controls?
I hope. Listen, I'll say it right now. If this game goes to 2 versus 2 and 6 buttons, I'll actually be excited for this again. Because to me, the versus series dropped off after they switched to only 4 buttons. It just became, I don't know, it lost something, you know, like all the original versus games. I'm talking about X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, and Marvel vs. Capcom 1 all had 6 buttons, you know. For whatever reason, they dropped 2 of them, and they dropped even more for 3, you know.
Yeah, I feel like I really wanted, like, that was the one thing that bugged me about 2 and then 3 is just like, we don't, I kind of don't want to play that. I want to play like a little bit. I feel like the game is kiddie mode. Like, you just literally press the same button and he keeps punching and doing combos, you know, any character.
Yeah, this is why my favorite versus game is still X-Men versus Street Fighter, because it had that craziness of the versus games, but it still had that, you know, the tactical stuff from Street Fighter, you know. But yeah, I mean, you know, we'll see about that game. But you know, with that announcement, Dan also announced Ultimate versus Marvel vs. Capcom is coming up.
PlayStation 4, right?
I think it's available now, actually.
Yeah, it is. You can go get it. Adam in our chat literally said, "I just bought this game right now." I'm like, all right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I may buy it. Who knows? Oh yeah, and speaking about also, you know, what I liked about this conference was they, you know, the keynote, at least they talked about the games that, you know, are on the store right now. There's a new Resident Evil demo. What's cool about that is, it was when I was telling Brett, I'm like, yo, they got this shit for PSVR, man.
Oh shit.
And Brett was like, fuck no, I'm not doing that to myself. You know,
Mr. VR is like, nope.
But I mean, you know, obviously because they're, you know, Rachel dying and everything, he doesn't want to deal with heavy shit, you know.
Yeah, I understand that.
So I understand that.
Dot Boy says the beat that Resident Evil demo. Also, you already did
it. I'll play when I go home. You know. By the way, is anybody asking us to talk about anything specific in the chat?
Goddamn, no, there doesn't seem to be anything as of yet.
All right, yeah. Again, people, if you want us to talk about anything specific that you saw at the event, let me know. So that was cool. What else did they show that was cool, interesting? But yeah, like I said, what this keynote show to me was like, yeah, Sony,
they got some shit
next year, man. Like, this company, you know, keep your eye. Like, you know, I said this on Twitter. You know, I'm not trying to start any flame shit, even though I'm going to get it anyway. If you don't have a PlayStation in 2017, you're missing out on a lot of gaming.
So okay, so now that you stuck at you went to the conference, did you stick around through all the other different things, or did you go down? What did you do after that?
All right, so after that, I went to play some games, baby.
Oh, nice.
Actually, no. After that, I went to go eat because I didn't eat all day, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I came back, I went to play some games, and you know me, man. I went for the heavy shit, you know.
Oh, nice.
And what they're doing at this thing, because remember, this is a PlayStation experience, right? So if you play enough games and do certain things, you go to panels and all that, you earn quote unquote trophies, you know?
Okay.
They scan your badge every time you play a game and stuff, and you earn points and stuff. You could even get a platinum trophy, you know? It's like the trophies come in the form of cards, right? So the first quote unquote trophy I got was just for attending the damn thing, you know? So I got this shit, you know, that's the first one. And they got to the point, Manny, where okay, remember back in the day when trophies first started, like people would, including me, would shun games that didn't have trophies. The same thing was happening here. The boost that didn't have scannable like things, I'm like, I'm not playing. I'm not gonna waste my time.
Oh man, that's sad.
You know, the thing is, like, I played the Crash Bandicoot demo, which is actually very well done. You know, when I finished it, I'm like, let me get my card scanned. And he's like, oh, we don't do scans here. And in my mind, I'm like, I just wasted 15 minutes on this shit. I could have went to a game with an actual scanner. It got bad, but not all games gave you cards. Actually, let me talk about the smaller stuff first. So I played Crash Bandicoot. I never played Crash Bandicoot back then because I didn't own a PlayStation, because I hated PlayStation back in the day. So I was a Sega guy, right? It was fun. I liked it. You know, it was fun. And I also played that Sonic Mania.
Oh shit!
Ooh, it felt good. The level I played, it was weird because it was Green Hill Zone, right? But as you keep going, it starts mixing in. Because remember, Green Hill Zone was broken up into 3 acts, right? Imagine all of it put together into 1 act, but remixed and stuff. Like, this is interesting. And the feel of it was caught me off. It looks like Sonic 1, right?
But
has a couple elements of Sonic 3 of Sonic CD. It feels like Sonic 3
oh, okay.
with a shield and stuff. I'm like, okay, this the heavier kind of Sonic. I'm like, this works. This is cool, fun game, man. But let's talk about the heavy shit now. So I got cards for these people. So I played Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh.
I played this on a regular PS4, OHDR. The game looks fucking gorgeous.
Well, the thing is that game looks good no matter what.
Yeah. Regular PlayStation, nothing added. Fantastic. And what I liked about the game was, because when it's a demo, they don't give you instructions really, It played exactly like you would expect a modern action game to play. Like dodge. Actually, I'm gonna quiz you right now, Manny. What's the dodge button in a lot of action games nowadays?
The dodge button? Well, like the dodge button.
Actually, I'm asking the fans too in the chat. What button do you typically press in a modern action game to dodge? What button do you press on PlayStation specifically?
The dodge button. Wow. Well, I was thinking of God of War's dodge button, which was the other one, which was always the second analog stick. But that doesn't work for a good person.
God of War's an exception to that rule, Are we getting any answers in the chat, by the way?
Oh, go dodge button. Somebody says circle buttons. That's it.
Yep. There you go.
And Carlos says square.
Yeah, no, it was circle. I'm like, because in most modern action games, you press circle to dodge because these robots are coming. I'm like, oh shit! I just pressed circle instinctively, and she did it. I'm like, okay, and then instinctively, I went to shoot. How do you shoot? L2, R2. I'm like, okay. Yeah. This works, jumping.
It's definitely going to probably go with familiar controls. They're not going to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, so I had fun with it. Like, the demo was just, complete a couple little objectives. Like, you could do shit to the robots. Like, you could, because remember, they're robots. So you could actually shoot specific components off of them to disable them and stuff, But I liked it, man. I really, because the thing for me was, remember, this game is being made by Guerrilla Games, right? The Killzone guys. So I was worried. I'm like, oh, is this going to be right? Like, these guys don't make action adventure games. But it felt good. It felt really good. The platforming, I didn't do too much of it, but it felt a little weird. But maybe during specific, because I think I was trying to climb on shit I couldn't actually climb on top of,
So, speaking of Guerrilla Games.
Yeah.
You know that Guerrilla Games' engine is powering Death Stranding, right?
Oh, is that confirmed?
That is confirmed.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because we saw that video. I'm like, what engine is that running on?
That engine is essentially the Guerrilla Games engine, which is the one that they've been using forever. What's happening is that literally when Koji was doing that little his world trotting all over the different studios, he was looking for the new engine. He ended up at Guerrilla Games, and literally the guy from Guerrilla Games gave him a box. Boom, this is the source engine to our engine. This is the source engine to our engine. So this is yours.
Wow,
we're helping you out. So what's happening now is that the engine, Kojima's guys are already futzing with the engine. So what they're doing now is that they're actually kind of semi-joint developing the engine even further. So now Kojima's adding all kinds of new lighting stuff. Essentially, literally, they did the same thing that they did at Kojima Productions. They recreated their conference room, right, and used that as their test stage. So it's like, okay, if something looks good in this environment, comparing it to what it looks like in in the real world to what it looks like in the same environment, to try to get the lighting and everything correct. So now what they're going to do is they're going to kind of joint develop the engine even further, and they're going to have a bunch of Kojima's guys at Guerrilla Games, helping to QA the engine and develop it and do all kinds of other things. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Would you say they're making it more like the Fox engine?
Probably, because definitely when you look at that Death Stranding trailer, even both Death Stranding trailers, they feel very Fox engine-y.
Yeah. Remember that led me and you to believe that it was an empty framework situation going on, right?
Yeah, where he just ran. So, but yeah, that was in the conference after you had left. So, because they keep on running meetings and shows after that keynote thing, and that's when Keeley and Cerny and all those guys came out, and then Kojima talked about the Norman Reedus and Mag Mickelson and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. So yeah, Horizon, I was very pleased by that. I'm like, because I was very worried that the controls would be stupid, but they were good, man. They were intuitive. That's what I like, and the game looks beautiful. I could just imagine it looks like on the Pro. It's gonna be ridiculous. I hope Sony has at least the option for the 60 frames a second thing, for that game. Because I was playing at regular 30. It was good at 30 as well, But I want to see that. It's gonna be good. And then right after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna play the other heavy game, the one that people have been waiting for 10 years for. Last Guardian, baby.
Oh shit! I joked on our little chat that we have that that's probably the last time you're not gonna be playing that. That's gonna be the last time you're gonna be playing it until you finish Final Fantasy, which will probably take like a week to do.
Yeah, because Final Fantasy, look, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I'm having a blast being here. I love being at, Anaheim is a very nice city, by the way, Manny.
Oh, yeah,
it's not
nice.
like LA fucking nasty, disgusting,
No, Anaheim's nice. That's why Walt Disney built Disneyland there.
Yeah, no smog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Very nice city. So I'm glad to be here. I'm very happy to be here with the PlayStation, crew and stuff. It's all fun. But a part of me is like, I wish I was playing Final Fantasy 15 right now. But so I just, like when it hit me, I'm like, okay, in 1 week, right, within the instance of 1 week, I am playing Final Fantasy 15 and fucking The Last Guardian. Think about that.
That's crazy.
It will still come out on PlayStation 3.
Yeah. So what do you think of The Last Guardian?
Last Guardian. Okay. Again, I liked it, but it is definitely an old game, man. Like the first thing I noticed, I was off. And this is for all Team Eco games, right? Those controls were fucked up. Like, you know what? I'm like, you got to jump with triangle and all that. Like,
yeah, hopefully they allow you to change that shit because they let you do it in the other game.
They let you do it in the other games, and you can make it more intuitive. I'm like, what is this shit? Like, you had to get used to the funky controls. And then the other thing was, like, when I pressed the right analog stick to move the camera, it just seemed like this is the conversation I heard in my head. The camera was like, oh, you wanted me to go right? Okay, I'll do it. It's like a very noticeable delay, So that was like control issues, like, this is gonna be a little bit of a put off for people. This is very odd. But once I got over that, right? I mean, I didn't fully get over it, but once I dealt with it, like I liked it. It was literally the beginning of the game, right? I'm not gonna spoil anything, obviously, but it's you building a relationship with that bird dog thing, right? The intro was actually, I don't want to give it, but it's very interesting the way the intro was, right? Because it actually like had some real world shit in there. I'm like, okay, very interesting, But it was just a 15-minute demo, and it was literally 15 minutes. Like that, after 15 minutes, we're done. That girl came, she's like, okay, that's it, you're done, because it's a full game. The game's already done,
Yeah, it's done.
I love the art style. Brett said he didn't like this so much. I like how the world kind of is very detailed, but it's a lot stylized. But the human characters are extremely stylized, But I like it, it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to playing it after I finish Final Fantasy 15,
Oh, yeah. So Rashid says, he said that, he was correcting me a little bit, which I was just kind of lightening it up a little bit. But he says, yes, that they're actually Guerrilla Games and Kojima Productions are doing a partnership, and that Kojima Productions is creating a studio within the Guerrilla Games.
Oh, shit. See, that's collaboration right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did that, and then one of my fun highlights was I got to I just had drinks with a lot of the Sony crew.
Nice.
Gio Corsi was there. I'm going to show you this because we're buddies and stuff. Everybody knows that. Because Gio Corsi, he came out and people were very happy that he brought a certain thing out. And since I was there having drinks with them, I was like, "Okay, can I take a picture of the world famous Vita?"
The blue Vita.
Yeah. So yeah, I was there drinking with a PlayStation. Actually, it was funny about that because I wasn't drinking at first, but somebody bought Gio a drink, right, like a beer. But Gio, like he can't have beer because it gives him kidney stones. So he's like, "Hey, you want to have it?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll drink the beer," you know. So I was drinking with them, and okay, I didn't know this. Okay, Dan Shu, old school, right, from EGM, right?
Yeah.
He works for Sony now, right? And we
Interesting.
talked for a while actually about writing and stuff. And I told him that, "Yo, you're one of my influences." Like the thing I took, he years ago, right, when he was working for One Up, I think it was OneUp.com, right? He wrote this thing about like the 10 things you shouldn't do as a journalist, right? And the one of them that stuck out to me was, don't start any of your things with a history lesson. And I've stuck to that. If you read any of my stuff, I mean, with news, I kind of have to just so people understand. But with reviews and like opinions, I stay away from giving a history lesson. Like usually, for example, right, somebody writes a Watch Dogs review, right, and I'm guilty of this too. By the way, I actually broke my own rule. You start off talking about the original game, and then you get into it. It's like, no, skip all that shit. Just get to what you need to. So we talked and stuff. He talked about some of his philosophies on writing and stuff. Obviously, he doesn't write as much anymore because he's working for Sony, but it was just cool, he's meeting this guy. He seemed very happy to meet me because, I've heard stories about how Dan is like unapproachable. The guy was cool as shit, and he wasn't even drunk,
Yeah.
There was this other Sony guy I met there. I didn't get his name. He works from like Japan division. This guy was drunk out of his mind.
He was from the Japan division. I wonder who that might have been.
Yeah, but he's American, right? But he was drunk as shit, and he said I was a very quotable person, guys. I was just talking like I normally talk, and he was just like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god."
Yeah, you'll find out he wasn't drunk, and he's literally quoting you on a bunch of boxes.
Yeah, and I told him, "Hey, listen, man, because this is the quote I gave him." And I said at the beginning of the show, I'm like, Sony, the PlayStation experience is PAX, but with better games, And he was like, "Can I quote you on that?" He's like, "Oh wait, maybe I shouldn't use that. That seems kind of mean." Like, man, I'll say that shit, fuck that. but then Dan, he was telling me that he's heard a lot of people say that PlayStation experience reminds them of the like original PAX. Like PAX from 6 years ago or something. Like, oh, that's very interesting,
Well, I mean, there was a little bit more of a what do they call it? A little bit more of more large, AAA games used to be at PAX.
Yeah. So that was pretty. So that was pretty much how I ended my night and stuff. And since I have you here, I want to show you some swag I got.
Yo, man, you got some shit.
Yeah, I don't know how to bring this shit back home. I was telling Manny, like, I didn't plan too far ahead. Like, I brought a book bag filled with my clothes, and it fit all my clothes perfectly. I didn't think about, wait, Tony, what if you get extra shit?
Here's the thing. I mean, I don't know how you'll get this to work, but if, like, at least if you're a standing person, you could have two portions of carry-on when you get onto the plane. You can have, whatever bag which you can throw into the overhead compartment, and then you can have a carry-on, which is a smaller bag with whatever shit inside of it.
Yeah. So I figure. So after I played Horizon, they gave me like a voucher because they have a giveaway thing. You could stay on this long line, and you could just go up there and they'll give you free shit, But if you have a voucher, they'll give you things for a specific game. So I got this for Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know if you can see it. It's basically a balloon. Like if you blow it up, it's her sword.
Oh yeah, that was at E3.
Yeah. So I got I don't know the main girl's name, but I got her sword there, right? Let's see what else, because I didn't look through all this, so we're finding things out together. Ooh, I got a code for a static theme for Horizon.
Ah.
I'm not showing you that. I'll show you the front. My code. And then we got this shit, the standard tote bag or whatever.
Yeah, the big old bag.
Is it a tote bag? Yeah. So it comes, let's see what it has inside. I don't think, yeah. I saw, this is the item everybody wants. For whatever reason, everybody wants this shit.
What is
it? PlayStation water bottle.
Dude, they had that shit at E3 as well.
Oh, as a matter of fact, here's the funny thing I've noticed. Because I've been to like more conventions this year than usual, right? I'm noticing a pattern. people reusing the same like shit on the floor displays.
Oh yeah,
they had that same Resident Evil manner, the same shit.
Yeah, the one that was at E3 and the one that was at a Comic-Con. It's the same thing.
They had it here, you know.
What they do, what I noticed what they do is they expanded, contracted, because when we saw it at E3, it had a big old fence around it, you know, and like gravestones. At New York Comic-Con, it was just the house.
Yeah, in this one, it was just that. It was just a house, you know. So that, and then, you know, going back to the point was, okay, you know, when you go to E3, Sony's E3, there's that upstairs portion.
Yeah.
They brought that whole shit, the stairs, the parts that are connected to the stairs, all of that, you know. they use the sets. That's what I was trying to say before. Okay, so this is the item, like everybody wants the Sony water bottle.
Interesting.
What else is in here? Stupid looking glasses. What is that?
Those look like the glasses from Let It Die.
Maybe. I played Let It Die. Actually, no, I didn't play. I only had one appointment. So I went to Let It Die, but it was literally the same demo I played at PAX, right? So I just interviewed the director. It wasn't Suda. Suda's not the director of the game. He's just
it's this other guy,
Yeah. And by the way, I realized every person I interviewed this year was Japanese, so it's always through a translator, you know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so by the way, the Let It Die booth had the very best music in the entire show, man.
A
bunch of metal bands from Japan, independent guys, fucking awesome, you know.
They what was it? From what I know, was actually one of my friends is over there. She's the girl at the Let It Die booth.
Oh, nice. What's her name?
Ah, shit. You've seen her. We've seen her before. Her name is Jocelyn too, as well.
Is she Asian?
No, she's white.
Okay, I'll
she kind of looks like a flight attendant.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Oh man, yeah, she's good looking, man.
She's also an amazing artist.
Yeah. No, I'm being honest right now. I was checking her out. I'm like, man, she's good looking. Okay, so I got I don't know what the hell this is.
What is this?
It's like water in it.
It's hand sanitizer, I'm sure.
No, but it has what the fuck? Hold on.
Open it up.
We're gonna find this out together, people.
Open it up. It's probably hand sanitizer.
But what is this? There's like a thing inside of it, like a thermometer. You see it?
Yeah, it's a spray. It's probably a spray.
I fucked up. Hold on, I gotta put this back.
Yeah, it's probably a hand sanitizer spray.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a mist.
Yeah, it probably smells like alcohol.
Yeah, it's antibacterial. Don't spray this in your mouth.
Yeah, that's so you could spray. That's so you could spray off the goddamn controller, so you don't get or maybe the PlayStation VR, so you don't get fucking pink eye.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else is in this little tote. Sticker here.
Fred says PlayStation drugs. LOL.
Okay, Freddy. You know. Okay, so I got these stickers here. You know, if you're 5 years old,
yay! You could stick them on your notebook when you go to school.
Yeah, stick them up your ass, man. Ooh, a fridge magnet.
You got Share Factory.
Yeah, look at that Share Factory.
When's the last time you've ever used Share Factory?
Yeah, right. I got a bronze trophy.
Oh shit!
Pretty cool. It came.
Those are the most common ones.
Yeah. What is this? Look at this thing.
That looks like a box.
Yeah. For what though?
I don't know. It looks like you somehow changed it into something. It looks like it's in the shape of a Vita.
I think you could put a Vita in this box.
Is that a Vita box? Oh,
yeah, it is for a Vita. Look.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe it's a protector for the front of your Vita.
But it's a cheap, but it's literally a cheap box. It's like it's like cardboard.
Well, no, it looks like it folds in. Oh, well, we'll see what it is. Oh, the David Jaffe thing, right?
Yeah, Let It Die. But I'm reading the back. Thank you for
it together.
Whoa. Okay. So it's another dynamic theme.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. And then the last thing that's in here is. What is this shit? This bag is not a. What the fuck is this shit?
This bag is what? It's probably one of those string bags.
Oh, it must be a bag. Yeah.
Is it? It's a like a shiny blue.
It's a fabric poster.
Oh, it's a fabric poster. Oh, come through.
Yeah, because that's going to be a hassle just putting it back.
Yeah, it's probably the thing that's the logo for the show and all that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
you know why? Check this out. You can make out a little bit. You see the O, the X.
Yeah, it's one of those like it's one of those like crazy like it's like okay, cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I also got a PlayStation shirt. You know the one with the characters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. All right, I think I pretty much said everything I need to say. We're not gonna do a follow-up day too. Like if there's something happened, I'll talk about it tomorrow on Throwdown.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, PlayStation experience, man. Look, I'm just gonna say it right now. Like again, if you like don't own a PlayStation 4 and you saw that conference and you weren't impressed, I don't know what to say, man, because PlayStation's about to hit it, man.
So there's no more. You're not waiting for greatness.
Yeah, no, greatness is still coming because we still gotta wait, but it's a good show, man. Brian was talking shit. He's like, oh, it's just another show where it's just a 2-hour ad. I'm like, what show isn't a 2-hour ad essentially?
Yeah, well, number one, if you're waiting to buy, if you have a product and it's a 2-hour ad,
basically, because he doesn't like E3 either. Brian, in his world, if you're gonna show those games, they need to be out now.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but to me, it's like the whole point of a show is to get you hyped.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what that show was there to do. Like that conference was like, okay, this is all the shit that we got coming.
Yeah. No word of God of War, no word of Days Gone, no word of Spider-Man, none of that. Those games ain't coming in 2017. I bet.
Mm-hmm.
But all the other shit, Horizon. I wonder if the Uncharted stuff is coming next year.
I think it might be. I didn't give a date, but I feel like it was.
Yeah, and they already said Last of Us, that ain't coming anytime soon,
No, they said, I watched a little feature about it where they said they literally did it the same time that they were working on Uncharted, that whole little sequence.
Really?
They were showing? Yeah, they did that at the same time as Uncharted when they were working on Uncharted 4. So they're working on the game now. That was just a little teaser for the game.
That may not even be in the game,
Yeah, there's a good chance it may not even be in the game.
It's crazy, Yeah, PlayStation experience, man, good stuff. So I'm glad we did this little impromptu throwdown, and you stayed up all late. Actually, you're always up late, so it didn't matter.
Dude, I'm always up late. I got deadlines. I got a bunch of shit to do. So now I'm always up.
Yeah. So my question is, what's going to happen tomorrow? Because I would need to be here by 7:30, which is early for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to be like for the late throwdown crew. We'll see, because I'd rather be here to do the show, but it's gonna have to be like 1 o'clock for you guys.
Here's the thing, like this is a little real talk. A lot of times people just read the. Yeah, I don't sleep. that boy. No, I that boy. I rule the night. I'm like Batman. So in the daytime, I walk around as Bruce Wayne, and at night, I work my ass off. Well, I work my ass off all the time. You see the crazy hours I tweet.
What happened? What he said? What happened?
I said, you see the crazy hours that I'll tweet something. I'll tweet something at like 5 a.m. in the morning.
You crazy, man. You crazy. The MP3, I guess I'll just worry about that when I go home. Unless I give Chris a crash course.
Oh yeah, for the show tomorrow.
Yeah, even this show, if you think about it, because I can't edit MP3s on this Chromebook.
Yo, man, you got to get yourself a real PC.
Yeah, right. On my PC. By the way, Hip Hop Gamer's on the show, but I didn't see him.
Whoa! Where are? What universe is this? Because Hip Hop Gamer is like everywhere. I feel like he's got like 10 of him walking around. Because I swear, I even when I don't expect to see him, I see him.
Yeah, so it's weird that I didn't run into him yet,
Did you at least hear him at the PlayStation conference?
No, but I heard that one guy saying thank you when Shuhei Yoshida was out.
Oh, wait, well, he said thank you for friggin' Gravity Rush.
Yeah. But oh, by the way, before we leave, I need to address this. These guys are so full of shit, man. Okay, there's this guy called Red Dragon, right? Who I actually generally like. He's a YouTuber. I generally like him. Like I agree with some of his views and stuff. But this guy was so full of shit today, right? He tweets out like, "Oh, did you notice that the only people clapping at this event, Sony event, are the Sony executives? Like, you don't hear anything." Like, yo, I was there. People were losing their fucking minds. Like, I don't know if the sounds didn't come
crazy.
like, I guess the sounds didn't come through, through the stream, but people were like, they got louder at this show than they did for the normal Sony shows at E3.
Oh, I don't know what he was talking about. Literally seeing like video, people like getting up, going, like putting their hands out, like, taking photos, getting crazy. I mean, the thing is, it's a total friggin' fan show. So obviously these people are going to go lose their minds. I heard it. I don't know what he was listening to.
Yeah, so no, I was like, yo, you're full of shit, because the Xbox guys lashed on that. Oh yeah, see, Sony's faking it. Nobody even cares about these games. Fucking stupid. Yeah, the Xbox guys were on hardcore damage control today. Damien came out of the woodwork giving me shit,
What? Just because you're there?
No, because I call that Red Dragon guy out. He's like, oh, there goes Tony defending Sony. I'm like, no, I'm telling people the truth. People are going nuts at this show. If you're gonna believe that shit that nobody was clapping, you're full of shit.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I was sitting right there.
Oh yeah, I was right there in the middle of it. People are losing their minds. So yeah, it's just silliness. But yeah,
it's not like the Xbox conferences where they literally sit all the fan people down in the front, so they're all the ones going, oh!
Yeah. But I did behave myself today because I wanted to troll so badly, but like, Tony, just leave it alone for now. You don't need to your Twitter blowing up more than it already was, where people are just excited for me to be there. Because I wanted to troll so bad, but I left it alone.
Just leave that stuff alone. You don't need to.
I wanted to go, yo, where's the Xbox experience?
Oh,
I would have set up a firestorm.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying, these Xbox guys are always running around saying, oh, Xbox, executives care about it. There's always tweet to us. Yeah, that's cool. But Sony guys, they have a whole show and they meet you face to face. I'm just saying.
So did you see Yoshida and those guys there? You said you saw
Yoshida, but people that I know ran into him. These guys were just walking around, dude. As a matter of fact, Gio Corsi, where I bumped into him at the fucking merch booth. And you know what he did? He got on the line to pay with like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he did because he just wanted to mingle with the fans, Sean Layden, again, I'm not there as press. I let him know I was pressed like afterwards, but to him, I was just a regular dude, and he just chatted me up, So I think it's cool that Sony at least does have to have this special event for fans where they meet them, And I would, talking to the Sony guys, and Manny, you could relate to this too. They like the fact that they work their asses off all the time. And they actually get to see fan reaction, because they're in their little bubble there. They don't know what's going on. Really.
Oh yeah,
they see social media and stuff, but that's not a real picture of it.
That's not a real picture of what the environment is outside. At least for me, I'm working. I work crazy hours. I see a little bit of these things online, like, I see people talking about my books and stuff like that, but you don't really get the full heft of that. It's just text on a screen. You really don't get the full heft of that until you walk into a convention center and you have like 20, a bunch of people coming, like, your work is this. I love this. It's like, wow. All right. Wow. This thing I just make in my, my little box here, is affecting people. So it's definitely important to kind of go out there and kind of get a little bit of a gauge, at least of what the fans or people are what they think of these things,
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's good that Sony, these guys, executives, are walking around, they're meeting fans and stuff, and the fans are just genuinely happy. Like they, people buying Gio Corsi beer and buying all these other guys beer, and they were just hanging out in the lobby like with everybody else, and fans would come up, very respectful, and it's cool that they're doing shit like that,
It's I'm sure they kept Kojima under wraps though.
Yeah,
they don't have that dude walking around.
Yeah, because they would mob him,
You probably mob him, yeah.
Yeah, but it was cool. Yeah, so there you go. There's your PlayStation Experience special. Hope you guys enjoy this, test/show. You know. So yeah, we'll be back with you on with Throwing Your Questions, episode 112, and I don't know what time it'll be. You know, it might be really late. You know, but
I mean, here's the thing. With the pretty much, I'm the only exception on the East Coast, right?
Yeah,
because everybody else is center time.
Yeah, because Chris and Carlos and Brett are all in the same.
Chris, Carlos, and Brett are in the same one. You're a little bit. You're like an hour behind them. I'm the only guy on the East Coast as of now. So, dude, what times do I stay up? So I'll be fresh. So yeah. I'm good. So if you do need to make it a little later, I'm cool.
All right, yeah, because it'll be midnight for those guys. It'll be 1 for you, and it'll be 10. Because I'm gonna try at least do it by 10. You know. I'll talk to them in the chat about that because I think that'll be good for me. So I don't, you know, in case because people 7:30 is still too early. People want to go eat and drink and shit, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm here. I flew all this time here. I don't want to just cut it off early, you know. So yeah, we'll do that,
especially on the last day, right?
Yeah, I want to chill. I was hanging out with a lot of cool people just for dinner and stuff. Erica and Ken and Chris from Junkie Monkeys. You know, we're all hanging out and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Good times, man. You know, so yeah, I'll do that. You know, so I guess we'll bring you a show at 1 a.m. tomorrow Eastern. You know, good stuff. All right, so we'll see you guys around later.
Later, guys.